There are over 7 billion people on Earth, and that number continues to grow. As the human population increases, so does the need for larger quantities of cheap food. Industrial food and livestock production is a way of producing large quantities of food at a faster rate than traditional farming. Traditional farms are designed to feed a family or small community. Industrial farms are designed to feed the world's population. Without industrial food production, our lives would be very different. Industrial farming practices have resulted in more food for lower prices. Supermarkets are filled with aisles of endless choices of inexpensive food products. People can eat fruits and vegetables grown halfway around the world, and our food choices are no longer limited by the seasons or location. Industrial agriculture methods produce a consistent product, and many consumers prefer the standardized nature of the foods they eat. As the world's population continues to grow, industrial food and livestock production lowers production costs of food and makes food more affordable to more people. Industrial agriculture has provided our society with many benefits, but these modern farming methods have had negative effects as well. For example, industrial farming practices involve raising large numbers of animals in a limited space, providing large quantities of affordable meat products. However, this practice calls for controlled growth conditions that confine thousands of animals, creating concerns for animal welfare. Egg-laying hens are kept in small cages, while cows, hogs, and chickens are kept indoors with minimal space for turning around or lying down. Many animals have little access to fresh air or sunlight. Antibiotics are used to not only treat sick animals, but to prevent illnesses caused by unsanitary living conditions. This widespread use of antibiotics can result in antibiotic-resistant bacteria that threaten human health. Industrial livestock production provides us with a continuous supply of meat. However, it also negatively impacts the environment because it produces millions of gallons of manure, which is used untreated as fertilizer. Some of this manure may leak and spill into waterways. Intensive crop agriculture is designed to increase yield by using chemicals. Modern farming techniques utilize synthetic fertilizers and pesticides that enable more food to be grown on less land, therefore freeing up land for other important uses. However, synthetic fertilizers have been determined to have long-term negative effects on the soil composition, structure, and fertility. Synthetic fertilizers containing nitrogen can contaminate water, and because they're water-soluble, can remain in groundwater for many decades. Using pesticides improves the yield of fruit and vegetable crops by controlling insects, weeds, rodents, and fungi that can damage crops. However, pesticides are impacting the environment. Their harmful effects include the loss of biodiversity and elimination of important species like bees. Soil erosion is a natural process. However, industrial farming practices such as intensive plowing and monocropping has increased the rate and scale of erosion. Industrial agriculture requires intensive irrigation, which reduces water tables and the quality of groundwater. This leads to deposits of salt that degrades the soil. Traditional farming methods are expensive because of the limited use of machinery and need for increased labor. Industrial agriculture uses the latest machines and technologies that help reduce the cost of food production. However, the use of heavy farm equipment causes soil compaction that increases the soil's density, while reducing the air volume and the land's ability to drain water. This leads to poorer crop yields and more pollution. A genetically modified organism, or GMO, is a plant, animal, or other organism that is created with biotechnology. GMOs may look just like organic plants, but have been modified genetically to give higher yields and resist pests and disease. For industrial agriculture, GMOs mean faster and more efficient food production, but no one knows the long-term health, safety, or environmental impact. Industrial food and livestock production impacts all of us on a global scale. For example, runoff from fertilizers, soil erosion, and animal waste enter the Mississippi River. When it empties into the Gulf of Mexico, the excessive nutrient pollution allows algae to grow without limit. This causes hypoxic or low oxygen areas known as dead zones, killing fish and damaging the ecosystem. Industrial food and livestock production provides food for the billions of people on Earth, but we need to consider its short and long-term consequences.